Good morning. Respect is something we all deserve, but unfortunately, not everyone gives it. Whether it's at work, in friendships, or even within our own families, we've all encountered people who dismiss us, talk down to us, or simply don't treat us the way we should be treated. But here's the thing. How we handle that disrespect determines how much power we allow it to have over us. Today, I want to share 5 powerful ways to handle people who don't respect you. Self-respect is the foundation of how others perceive and treat you. If you do not value yourself, it becomes difficult for others to see your worth. When dealing with people who don't respect you, the first step is to maintain an unshakable sense of self-worth. This doesn't mean arrogance or an inflated ego, but rather a deep understanding of who you are, what you stand for, and what you will and will not accept in your life. Many times, disrespect comes from people who believe they have power over you. They assume you will tolerate mistreatment, that you won't stand up for yourself, or that you will let their words and actions define you. The key to breaking this cycle is to demonstrate through your demeanor, actions, and words that you demand respect simply by the way you carry yourself. When you walk into a room with confidence, speak with conviction, and assert yourself in a calm but firm manner, people take notice. They may still try to undermine you, but their attempts become weaker because they can sense that their words and actions do not affect you the way they hoped. Respecting yourself also means knowing your value regardless of external opinions. Too often, people allow disrespect to chip away at their self-esteem because they subconsciously believe the other person's opinion holds weight. But in reality, someone else's disrespect is more a reflection of them than of you. You must decide that their words or behavior do not define your worth. No one else has the power to make you feel small unless you allow them to. A major part of self-respect is how you react to disrespect. When someone belittles you, mocks you, or tries to make you feel insignificant, your response is crucial. Reacting emotionally, arguing, or seeking revenge often plays into their hands, giving them a sense of control over your emotions. Instead, maintaining composure, standing firm, and responding with intelligence and confidence show that you are in control of yourself. The ability to remain unshaken in the face of disrespect demonstrates a level of self-respect that is undeniable. Respecting yourself also means setting standards for how you allow people to treat you. If someone disrespects you once and you let it slide, they may see it as permission to continue. If you consistently allow people to talk down to you, interrupt you, or ignore your boundaries, they will take advantage of that weakness. But if you establish from the start that you do not tolerate disrespect, people will either change how they treat you or distance themselves, which is a win either way. Another aspect of self-respect is surrounding yourself with the right people. If you consistently find yourself in environments where people belittle you, it may be time to evaluate your surroundings. The company you keep affects how you see yourself. When you are around people who uplift and respect you, you naturally start to carry yourself with more confidence. Conversely, if you stay in toxic relationships or environments, it becomes easier to internalize the negativity and start believing the false narratives others project onto you. Finally, self-respect is not just about demanding respect from others. It's about the way you treat yourself. If you constantly put yourself down, engage in negative self-talk, or allow fear to hold you back, you are disrespecting yourself. You must be your own biggest supporter. Speak to yourself with kindness and believe in your ability to stand tall regardless of how others treat you. When you hold yourself in high regard, people notice. Some will automatically adjust their behavior while others may still try to challenge you, But by then, their disrespect won't matter because you know exactly who you are. Setting clear boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to handle people who don't respect you. Many times, people continue to mistreat others because they are never told to stop. They assume that their actions are acceptable or that the person on the receiving end will tolerate their behavior. This is why establishing and enforcing boundaries is crucial. It teaches others how to treat you. If you don't set limits, people will take advantage of you, intentionally or not. The first step in setting boundaries is recognizing what you will and will not tolerate. This requires self-awareness and a strong sense of self-worth. If you allow disrespect to slide once, it opens the door for it to happen again. It's important to define your limits in different areas of life, at work, in friendships, in relationships, and even within your family. Knowing your boundaries allows you to communicate them clearly when the need arises. Once you've identified your boundaries, the next step is communicating them effectively. Many people struggle with this because they fear conflict or rejection. However, setting boundaries is not about being aggressive or confrontational. It's about being firm and clear. If someone disrespects you, you can calmly say, "I don't appreciate being spoken to that way." Or, "If you continue to behave like this, I won't be part of the conversation." Your tone and body language should reflect confidence, not hesitation. The key is to make your expectations known without allowing emotions to take over. Boundaries are not just about words. They require action. If someone continues to disrespect you despite your clear communication, you must be willing to enforce your limits. This might mean distancing yourself from toxic individuals, limiting interactions with certain people, or even cutting ties completely if necessary. When people see that you are serious about your boundaries, they are more likely to respect them. The mistake many people make is setting boundaries but failing to follow through. If you tell someone that a certain behavior is unacceptable but continue to tolerate it, they will not take you seriously. In some cases, people may test your boundaries, especially if they are used to getting away with disrespectful behavior. They might push back, argue, or try to make you feel guilty for standing up for yourself. This is a crucial moment where you must remain firm. Do not let the reaction shake you. People who truly respect you will adjust their behavior, while those who don't may reveal their true colors. Either way, maintaining your boundaries ensures that you are treated with the dignity you deserve. Another important aspect of setting boundaries is consistency. It's not enough to enforce them once and then let them slide the next time. If you allow certain behaviors sometimes but not others, it sends mixed signals. People will not take your boundaries seriously if they see you wavering. Consistency reinforces your self-respect and ensures that others understand what is and isn't acceptable in your presence. It's also worth noting that setting boundaries is not about changing others, it's about protecting yourself. You cannot control how people behave, but you can control how you respond. Some people may never respect you no matter what you do. In these cases, the best option is to minimize your exposure to them. Choosing not to engage with toxic people is a form of self-care. It is not weakness, it is wisdom. Boundaries are a reflection of how much you respect yourself. The more you value your time, energy, and emotions, the less willing you will be to tolerate disrespect. Setting boundaries is not about being rude or shutting people out. It's about creating healthy relationships where mutual respect is the standard. When you stand firm in your boundaries, you teach people that you demand respect, and those who refuse to give it will naturally fade from your life. Controlling your reactions when dealing with disrespect is one of the most powerful ways to maintain your dignity and self-respect. Often, when someone disrespects us, our first instinct is to react emotionally, whether it's anger, frustration, or even sadness. This is a natural response, but it is not always the most effective. When you allow someone else's words or actions to trigger you, you are giving them control over your emotions. Instead, mastering the ability to stay calm and composed in the face of disrespect is a sign of strength and emotional intelligence. One of the first things to remember when dealing with disrespect is that not every situation requires a response. Some people thrive on provoking reactions from others. They may say or do things specifically to get under your skin, and when you react the way they expect, they feel a sense of power over you. However, when you refuse to give them that satisfaction, it takes away their control. Silence can often be a stronger response than words. If someone is being blatantly disrespectful, sometimes the best course of action is to ignore them entirely and move on. That being said, there are times when you do need to respond, but how you do it makes all the difference. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a deep breath and pause before you say anything. This brief moment allows you to assess the situation logically rather than emotionally. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will responding change anything? If the answer is no, then it's better to let it go. But if you decide to respond, do so with confidence and control. Use a calm, steady tone and choose your words wisely. Instead of arguing or lashing out, make it clear that you will not tolerate disrespect. Another important aspect of controlling your reaction is understanding that other people's behavior is a reflection of them, not you. People who habitually disrespect others often do so out of insecurity, frustration, or a need to feel superior. When you recognize that their words and actions stem from their own issues rather than anything about you, it becomes easier to detach emotionally. Instead of taking their words personally, remind yourself that their disrespect is their problem, not yours. It's also helpful to practice emotional discipline in everyday situations, not just when facing direct disrespect. The more you train yourself to stay calm in small moments of frustration, whether it's dealing with a rude stranger, an annoying coworker, or a difficult family member, the better equipped you will be to handle bigger challenges. Developing a habit of self-control strengthens your ability to remain unshaken in moments of conflict and choose. Choosing to respond with grace and composure does not mean allowing people to walk all over you. There is a difference between ignoring negativity and allowing yourself to be mistreated. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, address it assertively but professionally. For example, if a coworker speaks to you rudely, you can calmly say, "I expect to be spoken to with respect. If you have an issue, let's discuss it professionally." This communicates that you recognize the disrespect but will not engage in childish behavior. Another key strategy is learning to redirect your focus. Instead of dwelling on the disrespectful encounter, shift your attention to something more productive. Dwelling on negativity only gives it more power. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to strengthen my self-control? The ability to control your reactions is a skill that takes practice, but it is one of the most valuable tools you can develop. When you learn to remain calm, composed, and in control, you protect your energy, maintain your self-respect, and show others that their attempts to bring you down will not succeed. True strength is not in how loudly you react, but in how well you maintain your peace in the face of disrespect. Walking away from people who don't respect you is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of self-respect and wisdom. Too often, people stay in toxic situations because they feel obligated to fix things or prove their worth. They tolerate disrespect because they hope the other person will change, or because they are afraid of losing relationships. But the truth is, not everyone will treat you with respect, no matter how much you try. When you recognize that someone continuously disregards your feelings, boundaries, or presence, the best decision you can make for yourself is to walk away. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to walk away from disrespect is the fear of judgment. Society often teaches us to be forgiving, patient, and understanding, which are all positive traits. but not when they come at the expense of our own self-worth. You do not owe anyone unlimited chances, nor do you have to explain yourself for choosing peace over conflict. The people who genuinely respect and value you will understand your decision, while those who don't were never worth your time in the first place. Leaving a toxic situation does not always mean cutting someone off completely. In some cases, it simply means limiting your interactions or changing how much access someone has to you. If a coworker, friend, or family member repeatedly disrespects you, you may not always have the option to remove them from your life entirely, but you do have control over how much energy you invest in them. You can choose to keep conversations brief, avoid unnecessary interactions, or emotionally detach from their negativity. It is also important to understand that walking away is not about proving a point or getting revenge. It is not a dramatic exit meant to make someone realize their mistake. If you leave with the expectation that the other person will chase after you, apologize, or change their behavior, you are still giving them control over your emotions. True strength is in walking away with no need for validation. It is about choosing yourself and prioritizing your peace regardless of how the other person reacts. Many people stay in toxic relationships, friendships, or environments because they convince themselves that they can handle the disrespect. They may say, "It's not that bad," or "I'm used to it." But just because you have learned to tolerate something does not mean you should continue enduring it. Repeated disrespect slowly wears down your self-esteem, confidence, and overall happiness. The longer you stay in a toxic situation, the more normalized it becomes, making it even harder to leave in the future. Recognizing when to walk away is an essential part of protecting your mental and emotional well-being. There is also a common misconception that leaving means you are running away from your problems. However, there is a difference between avoiding challenges and removing yourself from harmful situations. If someone is unwilling to respect you, no matter how many times you address the issue, staying only harms you. Choosing to walk away is not avoiding conflict. It is acknowledging that some battles are not worth fighting. Another important aspect of walking away is learning to let go of guilt. Some people will try to manipulate you into staying by making you feel guilty. They may say things like, "After everything we've been through, you're just going to leave?" Or, "You're being too sensitive." But setting boundaries and choosing peace is not something you need to feel guilty about. People who truly care about you will respect your need for distance, while those who try to guilt trip you are only benefiting from your tolerance. Walking away is about valuing yourself enough to step away from anything that diminishes your sense of worth. It is about choosing peace over conflict, self-respect over validation, and growth over stagnation. Not everyone deserves access to you, and the moment you recognize that, you gain the freedom to surround yourself with people who truly appreciate and respect you. Walking away is not a loss. It is a victory for your self-worth. One of the most powerful ways to handle people who don't respect you is to let your actions speak louder than words. In life, there will always be people who doubt you, undermine you, or try to make you feel insignificant. Engaging in endless arguments or trying to convince them of your worth is often a waste of time. Instead of fighting for respect with words, the best response is to focus on your goals, work hard, and let your success silence the disrespect. People who don't respect you often expect you to react emotionally. They want to see you get frustrated, argue, or defend yourself because it gives them a sense of control. But when you ignore their negativity and continue pushing forward, you take away their power. You show them that their opinions have no impact on your progress. The more you focus on improving yourself and achieving your goals, the less their disrespect matters. Success is the ultimate response to those who doubt you. When you consistently work on becoming better, whether in your career, personal development, or skills, you prove your worth without having to say a word. Imagine someone constantly belittling your ambitions, saying you won't succeed. If you spend your time arguing with them, You're wasting valuable energy that could be used to prove them wrong through action. But if you stay focused, work hard, and achieve your goals, they will eventually have nothing left to say. Your results will speak for themselves. Ignoring disrespect and focusing on your actions does not mean you should tolerate mistreatment. If someone is directly harming you, setting boundaries is necessary. However, in many cases, disrespect comes in the form of underestimation, doubt, or negativity. In these situations, the best way to handle it is to remain disciplined and keep moving forward. The more you elevate yourself, the more their words lose meaning. One of the key aspects of letting your actions do the talking is consistency. Success is not achieved overnight, and proving people wrong takes time. Many people give up too soon because they are too focused on immediate validation. They want to silence their doubters instantly, but true growth requires patience and persistence. By staying committed to your goals despite the negativity around you, you develop resilience. The longer you remain focused, the more undeniable your success becomes. Another important aspect is self-discipline. People who disrespect you may try to distract you from your path. They may mock your dreams, question your abilities, or make you feel like you are not good enough. But the moment you start believing them, you give them the control they were seeking. Instead of letting their words affect you, use them as fuel to push yourself even harder. Every time someone doubts you, take it as a challenge to prove them wrong, not through arguments, but through undeniable results. Surrounding yourself with like-minded, supportive people can help you stay on track. When you are constantly exposed to negativity, it can be tempting to engage with it. But when you build a strong circle of positive, motivated individuals, their encouragement will drown out the voices of those who don't respect you. Success is not just about individual effort, it's also about the environment you create for yourself. Respect is not something you demand with words. It is something you earn through action. When you stay focused, disciplined, and committed to your growth, the people who once doubted or disrespected you will have no choice but to acknowledge your success. And by the time they do, their opinions won't even matter anymore, because you will have already proven to yourself that you are capable all along. Surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the most important ways to handle those who don't respect you. The people in your life have a significant impact on how you see yourself and how you allow others to treat you. If you are constantly around individuals who belittle you, ignore your boundaries, or fail to appreciate your worth, their negativity can slowly chip away at your confidence. This is why it is crucial to be selective about who you spend your time with. When you choose to surround yourself with people who uplift, respect, and support you, you naturally develop a stronger sense of self-worth. One of the first steps in this process is identifying the people who truly respect you and those who don't. Sometimes disrespect is obvious. People may insult you, talk down to you, or ignore your opinions. Other times it is more subtle. Some individuals might pretend to support you but secretly envy your progress. They may discourage you from chasing your goals, make passive-aggressive comments, or fail to celebrate your successes. Pay attention to how people react when you share good news or when you stand up for yourself. Real friends and genuine supporters will be happy for you and encourage you, while those who don't respect you will either dismiss your achievements or try to bring you down. Once you recognize who truly values you, the next step is creating distance from those who don't. This does not always mean cutting people off completely, but it does mean limiting their influence over your life. If someone consistently disrespects you, you're not obligated to keep them close. Some people stay in toxic relationships or friendships because they fear being alone. However, being alone and at peace is far better than being surrounded by negativity. When you remove people who drain your energy, you make room for those who genuinely appreciate and respect you. Building a strong, positive support system takes time, but it starts with seeking out people who share your values. Look for individuals who inspire you, who push you to be better, and who genuinely celebrate your wins. Surrounding yourself with ambitious, kind, and respectful people naturally raises your own standards. You begin to expect better treatment, not just from others, but also from yourself. Your mindset shifts and you stop tolerating behavior that once seemed normal. Another important aspect of this process is understanding that not everyone deserves access to you. Many people make the mistake of trying to please everyone, fearing that setting boundaries will make them seem rude or selfish. But the truth is, your time and energy are valuable, and not everyone is worthy of them. When you surround yourself with the right people, you no longer feel the need to explain or justify your worth. The right people will recognize it without question. When you are in the company of respectful and supportive individuals, you naturally gain more confidence in handling those who don't respect you. Instead of feeling powerless in the face of disrespect, you develop the strength to walk away from situations that don't serve you. You no longer seek validation from people who refuse to give it, because you already have a strong foundation of self-worth. Respect starts with you. The way you allow others to treat you is a reflection of how you see yourself. When you choose to surround yourself with people who respect, support, and uplift you, you set a new standard for how you deserve to be treated. You no longer waste time on those who belittle you because you understand that you have better options. And once you make that shift, dealing with people who don't respect you becomes easy. You simply stop giving them space in your life.